Welcome everyone. Today we are finally going over the game that stole my heart in the VR landscape, Vtol VR. Today I'll be going over graphics, gameplay, replay value, community, and my final verdict out of 10. Now, as much as I am fond of this title, I will mention some drawbacks or perhaps some reasons people may be hesitant of this title. So without further ado, let's get into it. Graphics. Graphics in Vtol are not going to blow you away, but are simply good enough for what you will experience. Photorealistic AAA graphics are not required here. The game definitely takes more of a cartoony kind of appearance, but makes up for it with intricate systems regarding combat and flight mechanics, which I'll go into more detail when we go over gameplay. In a way, I believe this plays to a larger audience as well, since not everyone is going to have some crazy $3,000 PC. I will even admit that I initially was hesitant before purchase. I was concerned the graphics looked too washed or didn't give enough detail for an immersive experience. Again, not true at all. Once you put that headset on and take off, all that worry leaves just like the ground beneath you. Next up, gameplay. Okay, this is the meat and potatoes, so to speak, of what makes Vtol VR a total banger. Okay, let's just start from the beginning.
How do I turn this bitch on?
When you launch this game up for the first time, you're presented with a very easy UI without any clutter or craziness, unlike in War Thunder. After making your way over to the tutorial, you'll be dropped in your first experience of just how immersive this game is. When I first sat in and was told on what to do, simply just to get the damn thing going, you fully realize every button and switch in the cockpit is interactable, which is done with ease and in a very intuitive manner. That fact alone is what makes this experience a fantastic flight sim game. You don't need to go out and purchase extra accessories like a DCS or Microsoft Flight Sim, and further remember the macros on your throttle or HOTAs. If you have a VR headset and controllers, boom, you're good to go.
Oh, main battery?
Right engine failure.
Jesus Christ, all my shit's already...
Left engine failure.
While sitting in the cockpit, you see the clarity, which I believe is achieved through that more simplistic graphic choice as mentioned before. Every dial and meter can easily be seen, which is super important later when you find yourself in a mission dropping a GPS bomb nearly half a mile away and are scanning over several pages of information. The tutorial gets you familiar on most basic level of flight and weapon armament and does a decent job on preparing you. Although I will admit a more up-to-date tutorial would be nice, as later I found myself asking a million questions as to why the hell my bombs aren't dropping.
What the fuck?
Let's take a quick moment though of how it was when you first take off.
Okay, nice and easy. Ooh.
That first time you are off the ground is simply amazing, and the feeling you get to be able to surf the sky and peer over the horizon brings me back to when I personally got to fly in a F-15 fighter jet. If you are a VR veteran or a new VR user, this game will immediately hit you with that it was built from the ground up with immersion in mind. For real, this game has a fantastic level of detail without feeling overboard.
What the fuck?
As you progress, you will realize that the game offers a pretty good selection of air-to-air and air-to-ground armament. Each of these will require a level of knowledge that will leave you wanting to be better and utilize these systems with lethal effectiveness. Not to mention, in-flight refueling and aircraft carrier landings bring their own challenges. It will take time, but isn't so much time that you will need months or years like other flight sims to achieve a solid understanding. I'm by no means saying anyone will master these right away. As with anything, time is going to take you from being effective to being great.
I'll show you how great I am.
Altitude. 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 Plus. Altitude. Altitude. Plus.
I know there are some of you flight sim lovers wondering how flying without physical equipment would translate in precise flying. Well, the game does a great job with its haptic feedback and the controllers to achieve this. Each time you pivot the stick or throttle up or down, you receive those haptics to your hands, giving you that information to dial in. Not only that, but each time you get into the pilot seat, you can adjust to that sweet spot. This can be played with arms either on your legs, or if you have armrests on your chair, it creates a natural resting point as if you had external equipment. Real quick, let's not forget that they have an MP3 feature in the cockpit that allows you to drop your own music in so you can Top Gun your way to just total badassery. Alright, let's move on. Replay value. This game has your base levels that are provided for each aircraft chosen, which will give you a good bit of familiarity with each exercising mobility and weapon systems. Currently, Vtol VR has 4 aircrafts to choose from, which are fictional but based on real-life airframes. First up, the FA-26, or otherwise known as WASP, is based on the F-15 Eagle but with the multi-role carrier capabilities of an F-18 Hornet. Next we have the AB-42 Charlie, or Kestrel, which they claim is an entirely fictional gunship platform with rotating jet nozzles, capable of vertical takeoff with features a large cargo bay with multiple weapon mounts. The closest related aircraft for this would definitely be the CV-22 Osprey. Only difference is Osprey has rotary, not jets. The next airframe is the F-45 Alpha, which is an agile stealth fighter based on the F-35 and is my personal favorite. Like the real-world F-35, the F-45 Alpha replaces the physical multifunction display with a large singular touchscreen with 4 virtual displays. All other aircrafts have that kind of touch of old school compared to this one. And last, but certainly not least, the newest aircraft to launch via the DLC is the AH-94, which is a 2-seater attack helicopter which can be flown either solo or you can grab a friend and fly as a team. This aircraft, from my knowledge, is closely based off the AH-64 Apache helicopter. It may seem, with only 4 to choose from, you would assume a lack of content for further play, but this is far from the truth as each type brings its own style and feel with different mechanisms and armaments to engage with. Either you got the need for speed or perhaps that rotary-based close air support centric style of play. Choice is yours. So to sum it up, with 4 types of flying and a starter set of missions to get you going, you will soon discover the Steam Workshop in this game. This is when the replay value really steps up, as the game has its own map creator built in to allow members to make their own missions. Some of these can be intricate with custom sounds, music, or voiceovers, while others are simply to just explore and chill known locations such as Mount Everest, or the opposite, Miami. This leads us to our next point: community.
What the hell is wrong with you? We're a family!
Community is something that is very important in a VR game since it's still considered kind of more of a niche group of gaming. So it's not that uncommon that you run into the same people over again. You'll find a couple different types of people in the game, maybe some people who fully immerse themselves in the realistic features of the game, and then you got the people who are more just daredevils looking for a thrill. Either way, it's a very positive group of individuals, and the more experienced players are typically informative and help newer players. My first multiplayer experience, I found myself throwing a hang loose sign to a guy and flying in formation over some mountains.
He just clipped me.
Sick. Okay, so after all said, where do I rate this game? 9 out of 10. It's truly an immersive spectacle that anyone I've ever shown coming over has wanted more, paired with a wonderful community and so much content that will surely give you your money's worth. This game is seriously a must buy. And that concludes my review. You guys can go ahead, like, and subscribe. This did take me a while to make, or don't, that's fine too. I'll see you guys in the skies.